The Sunrise Morning Show continues. I'm Matt Swaim. It's great to be joined by Dr. Terrence Sweeney, who teaches at Villanova University, alma mater of the Pope. And he's also written a piece for the Church Life Journal for Notre Dame, a specific piece we're going to be talking about today called Sing Me More Songs About Jesus, Country Music, Sin, and Grace. Good morning, Dr. Sweeney. How are you?
Good. Great to be here.
It should say something about your article that within a day or two of you writing it, both myself and my co-host Anna Mitchell reached out to you independently wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, I was very excited to get those emails. Got a kind of a funny piece about country. Got a lot of attention.
Yeah, well, okay. So country music, isn't that supposed to be a Protestant genre? Like, what are you doing, man?
I know. Yeah, and I don't have a Protestant bone in my body, I guess, except for the country bone. But we have a lot in common with our Protestant brothers and sisters, and the biggest thing we have in common is that we know we need grace.
Well, I mean, there are smarter people than myself who've talked about how country music is a lot about what happens on Saturday night and what happens on Sunday morning. Who are some of the figures that you think really kind of typify this and exhibit what we could call kind of a spiritual hunger while sort of acknowledging a fallenness and a need for grace?
Yeah, I mean, certainly the great hillbilly Shakespeare, Hank Williams Sr., and his kind of, his great songs about both singing and being out late, but then also, this, powerful sense of, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I mean, it's always good to start with Hank Sr. Johnny Cash, I've always found powerful, if you listen to him singing live at San Quentin and live at Folsom. I mean, he's doing a corporal work of mercy, right? He's visiting the imprisoned. But he doesn't sugarcoat things. He sings about all kinds of bad stuff. But then, he ends those albums singing about Jesus. In San Quentin, he sings about visiting the Promised Lands. And then one of my favorites, not as well known as those two, is Billy Joe Shaver. You had actually sent me an email and mentioned his great line, the devil made me do it the first time. Second time I've done it on my own.
Which I think is the greatest popular description of concupiscence that I've ever heard anywhere. So.
Yeah, and really ultimately an account of original sin and the fall, right? Where the original sin is the devil's work, but then we take it up ourselves. But Billy Joe has these great songs. I mean, I think the one I quoted in my title, "Sing Me More Songs About Jesus," with a great line at one point, "Praise the Lord," guitar, and that kind of sense of that I need Jesus. There's a great tradition, as you mentioned, of the kind of Saturday night dynamic in country music, but then knowing that you need Sunday morning. Because if all you've got is Saturday night carousing, your life's going to fall apart, and it's going to end up being pretty empty. And, even that is a connection to kind of Catholic sense of festivity. Like, there is a place for celebrating, and, moderation is good, but the place for celebrating, but then orienting that to Sunday. And that's in those country songs.
It is. And, this is where we get to kind of like the question of, as you'll find out when you and me and my friend Bo Bonner talk about this, the idea of real and notional country, the idea of when John Henry Newman is talking about how do you know something? Do you know it because you read about it in a book and you saw it on TV, or do you know it because it's in your bones? I mean, this is kind of the divide that people feel in relation to sort of, I'll call it post-Vatican II country, right? Like new country, like the big flashy or whatever. Like, have these people ever been around a cow in real life? Like, you don't know. Like, it's just they've put on all the suits and the outfits and the twang, and they've sang all the, Chat GPT generated songs about being country. But do they know? And I think we feel that same tension even within the Catholic faith. Like, you can kind of look like it, you can look the part, but is it in you? This is a tension that I think people feel in the country music world, and that's something I know that a lot of our listeners feel about Catholicism. Like, how do I know that it's in me and I'm not just attracted to the cool accoutrements of it?
Yeah. So what I call my article, really suburban music rather than country music, which is, it's fine to live in the suburbs, but there's a kind of lack of depth. And of course, the irony, as I mentioned in the piece, is, I'm originally from a city. I've lived in cities my adult life, so there's a part of it that's kind of strange that I of all people, am listening to country music. But I think when you kind of really start to make that connection to the, country is a lived tradition. Lived traditions sometimes go in not great directions, which is what I would say of a lot of Nashville country, and I would say that something similar of what Bishop Barron calls a kind of beige Catholicism. I guess beige Catholicism and beige country might go well together.
Yeah, there's a correlation.
But getting down deeper. And certainly I am a huge advocate of book learning. I love teaching college students, getting them into great texts. But there is something ultimately, it's got to be transformative in your heart and get seeped down, as you said, into your bones. I mean, Prophet Jeremiah has a sense of, like, at one point he's like, I can't talk about God anymore, but then it's burning in my bones. And Jeremiah may as well have been a country musician. I mean, he had a lot of edge, and I think that edge ends up being like a bit like an opening.
Well, if country music is about, losing your job and losing your friends and losing your money and losing your dog, Jeremiah qualifies in most of those counts, if you think about it. But I'll just throw one other piece out here that, I kind of wonder why in this Protestant world of country music there is a lot of resistance to how we feel about the Blessed Virgin Mary, at least devotionally within the Catholic world. Because everywhere I turn in popular country music, they're singing about the most important moral and stabilizing figure in their world. And it's not Dad. You know what I'm saying? You kind of wonder if there's maybe some Marian inroads to be made there if this is considered properly.
Yeah, that is a great question I've not thought of before. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like thinking about, Mama Tried, or I turned 21 in prison and doing life without parole. I mean, a lot of these songs are about mothers, and I mean, it's hard to fully plumb the depths of how powerful a relationship is with your mom. And I certainly feel like I have my single mother, and it's you can't beat Jesus Christ, but you can't beat your mom, and you can't beat the Blessed Virgin Mary either. And yeah, I think that's that some of that is like really deep-seated, often Southern cultural Protestantism that finds the idea of Mary totally alien, but she's not. I mean, she's not alien to Christ, so she can't be alien to me. I'm curious. Has any country singer sung a song about Mary? I don't know. I might have to do some Googling.
Well, there's probably something out there, and some listener's gonna send me one right after this. I'm sure.
That's great, yeah.
That's how these things work. But in the meantime, Dr. Terrence Sweeney, if people want to find your article for the Notre Dame Church Life Journal with the McGrath Institute on country music, sin, and grace, how do they do so?
They can just Google "Sing Me More Songs About Jesus," and then toss Terrence Sweeney in there. Church Life Journal is a great resource. I love writing it and reading it, and I hope people will check out the article.